right before we went onto the show, a posting went up from the account of the president of Morris Brown, Dr. Kevin James, saying that he had been fired by the by the school's board of trustees. A move he called deeply concerning. He, of course, in 2022, helped them regain their accreditation from the Virginia-based Transnational Association of Christian Colleges and Schools. Remember, they had serious issues and then almost closed their doors. It was a fight to come back. This is what he posted on social media. Today, the Morris Brown College Board of Trustees terminated my service as president without providing specific cause or substantive explanation. This action is deeply concerning. Research and my lived experience demonstrates that many HBCUs have struggled with board overreach and interference. Unfortunately, those dynamics are evident in this situation. The timing of this decision is particularly troubling as the institution is approaching its accreditation reaffirmation review in a few weeks. Equally concerning is that this action disregards established governance best practices in my existing presidential contract, which extends through 2029. I fully intend to pursue all rights and remedies afforded to me under the agreement. Also, it is important to note that I recently completed a successful annual evaluation and have received consistently strong performance reviews throughout my 7 years of service. Morris Brown College has literally made history under my leadership as president. I'm profoundly proud of the work accomplished during my presidency, including leading Morris Brown College to become the first HBCU to regain accreditation after nearly 20 years. Restoring access to federal financial aid, growing enrollment from approximately 20 students to more than 540, securing national recognition and restoring the college's visibility and reputation, achieving clean financial audits for 7 consecutive years, establishing long-term financial stability for the institution. I dedicated myself fully to the restoration and resurgence of Morris Brown College, and I stand firmly behind the progress we achieved together. While I am deeply disappointed by the board's decision, I am grateful for the overwhelming support I have received from alumni, faculty, staff, students, and community partners. Thank you for believing in the vision and the work. Hashtag the hard reset, hashtag the resurgence. Kevin James, 19th president of Morris Brown College. Now, we reached out to Morris Brown and was directed to this statement on their website. They said the following. The Morris Brown College Board trustees announced today that NBC trustee Miss Nazinga Shaw will assume. Guys, hold up, guys. People can't see that. Yeah, y'all know that. Okay, hold on one second. Let me let me fix this here, y'all. I keep telling y'all can't put up statements like that because people can't read that. All right, let's see here. Where's their okay? Here's their statement. All right, here we go. Come to my iPad, please. Thank you. Folks can see that. The Morris Brown College, they announced the board of trustees extends its deep gratitude to Dr. Kevin James for his years of service and leadership at Morris Brown College. Dr. James has played a meaningful role in guiding the institution through critical seasons of growth, resilience, and transformation. The board thanks him for his dedication to the students, faculty, staff, and alumni, and the broader Morris Brown College community, and wishes him well in his next chapter. Shaw will work in close partnership the college's executive leadership team to ensure continued stability and continued progress toward the institution's mission. Shaw has been an integral and respected member of Morris Brown's governing body prior to the interim appointment. Shaw served as a member of the NBC's Board of Trustees and as a co-chair of the board's Facilities Committee. For her leadership and contributions to the college, Shaw received an honorary doctorate of humane letters from Morris Brown College during the 2023 commencement when she delivered the college's commencement address. From 2020 to 2024, she served as a member of Fisk University's Board of Trustees and has held professorships at Fisk University and the University of Tennessee. Shaw is a 2001 graduate of Spelman College with a Bachelor of Arts degree and a 2005 graduate with a Master of Liberal Arts at the University of Pennsylvania. Morris Brown College remains firmly committed to its students, its mission, and its long-term strategic vision, said Bishop Michael Mitchell, chair of the Morris Brown College Board of Trustees in a statement. This transition in leadership will help to ensure continuity as we move forward with the important work of strengthening and advancing the college. Okay. I want to know from Morris Brown what the hell is going on. And the reason I want to know that, which makes no sense to me, is Um, so right here, this is the website. So let's go right here. So Nazinga Shaw is a strategic board advisor, corporate executive, known for navigating complex governance, reputation, and capital challenges. Got it. First person to serve as chief diversity inclusion officer for two Fortune 200 companies. It was first chief diversity officer in the NBA, representing the Atlanta Hawks and State Farm Arena. Okay. All right. Served as CEO of an entrepreneurial venture. Okay. Independent director of Telecom. Okay. Former member of the board of councils for the Carter Center. Got it. Um, Sought after speaker, public educator. Got it. Master's degree. Got it. Okay. Here's my problem here, Mustafa. How do you run a university?
Right.
And here's the other deal, and this is what I don't understand. And I have had to deal with this with numerous HBCUs. Why do you keep naming interim presidents from your board when you have people who are a part of the staff in the day to day? You've got provosts, you've got COOs, you've got folks who are running the university in various capacities. Um, Again, I want to know exactly what happened here. I don't understand what happened here. I would love to hear from the leadership to say, well, when was your evaluation of the president? Was it a positive evaluation of Kevin James? If it was a positive evaluation, why are you making this move? Also, why would you fire somebody in 2026 whose contract runs through 2029? It's not like Morris Brown has the money to be paying two presidents at one time. But it really does bother me with these HBCUs where they fire presidents and board members take over as interim president. That's a problem for me.
Yeah, it caught my attention as well. There's so much talent that's out there, and if you cast the net, you'll be able to find that talent. That talent, and especially in the education realm, should have education administration as a background, or sometimes folks who come from the business side of the equation can also fill the role as long as they have the individuals surrounding them that's going to be necessary. If you have, historically and in the recent history had a problem with being able to raise money, for you to then have to pay an individual salary for the next 3 years, it's strange as well. And then the last thing that really got my attention was something that you raised. With all the folks who have worked for me over the years, when I do their evaluation, if there is gaps, then I'm going to highlight that, and we're going to put a plan together to be able to address that. But for these folks, it seems like he was doing fine, and then all of a sudden, then they've made this transition. So there are a lot of unanswered questions. There are a lot of concerns I think that most people will have looking from the outside. It will be interesting to also see, for those who donate to Morris Brown, if they will continue to have confidence in being able to do that. So I guess it will all be revealed here over the next set of weeks.
And I'm sitting there looking at the board here. I'm looking at the board here, Randy, and I'm seeing the Right Reverend Bishop Michael Mitchell. Okay. I'm seeing a financial advisor, founder and CEO of Impact Data. I'm seeing the CFO for the city of Atlanta. I'm seeing President CEO, Uni National Bank. I'm seeing education consultant, others. Well, hell, I'm seeing Dr. Gwendolyn Boyd, executive search consultant. If I'm correct, that's the same Gwendolyn Boyd who was the president of I think it was Alabama State. Hell, if you gonna put somebody to be the president, why don't you put somebody who's actually been a university president before? That's just me.
That at least would seem to make sense. But Roland, it's just messy though. I mean, even if they wanted to make a transition, the way that this all went down does not make me feel secure. It would not make me feel secure in sending my student. Because at the end of the day, business is business, and they are not conducting business well. They're not dealing with people or processes in a professional way. I mean, how do you let somebody go? They don't know that they're being let go, which is going to expose them to some serious lawsuits, which I'm assuming, if I know about HBCUs, they don't have money just hanging around to satisfy that, nor pay somebody's pay a dual salary to somebody, and it just breeds bad blood. I mean, this they should be able to conduct business better than this, to be an institution of higher learning, regardless of what was happening. If a decision was made, which I'll be honest with you, when I look at all that he's done, but if a decision was made to remove him, the way that it was done is just completely unprofessional. And we need to do better at our HBCUs. We need to at least represent what we want the students coming out to be. So if this is how you conduct business, how do I trust your business school? How do I expect you to run a university where you can't even properly handle a transition?
And again, here's my whole deal. When you do these moves, Larry, um, again, this is just looking at a set of facts. You have a president. You have the semester starting, the second semester starting. The president's under contract for 2029, and you get rid of him. You don't explain to the public why. To me, that's not actually how you lead.
There's a lot of moving pieces on this story. First of all, we do have to acknowledge President James did a miraculous job bringing Morris back from the brink. As you said, Roland, the university nearly closed, and they recently announced a project with like one of the major hotels that they'll be building right there in AU Center. So they've done a lot of tremendous work. He's done a lot of tremendous work. I don't think that letter interesting in terms of some of the language there said fired with cause, if I'm not mistaken, Roland. So it's really unclear in terms of when the board and whatever communications person they work with in terms of writing that letter. I think that they need to provide, like you said, a lot more clarity about what is going on because it raises more questions than answers. In terms of what this means for the future, he mentioned the accreditation. I worked on some accreditation issues as a researcher. They're going to need to do a search, and they're going to need to get someone in there who's qualified and experienced. Obviously, you want to do a great job vetting as soon as possible. But I want to go back to your point about the interim position. Listen, this is where a place where a lot of not just in HBCUs but smaller institutions, when they have a leadership, transition, they have an interim. This is where they encounter problems. It's really important that you have someone who understands higher education, who understands curriculum, who also understands the relationship with faculty and students, and has a background to ensure that this person is a buffer in terms they identify new leadership. So it's really important, like I said, that they lay out what's really going on here, and that the person they've hired, they've asked to serve as interim. They're going to really need to make sure they had a number of experienced individuals besides the provost and other people to support her as she moves to this journey.
Yeah, I just listen. I've had to deal with too many HBCU presidents that have been fired, that have been let go, all sorts of drama, and I can tell you, too often the problem traces back to the board of trustees. And I just think it's amazing how every single time these things happen, an interim president is a member of the board when I don't think so. If you're a board member, you're voting on removing somebody as president, and then one of the people who votes to remove them becomes the interim president. And a lot of times they'll throw their name in the hat. I don't get it. If you have university staff, if I'm running a newspaper, I'm the managing editor. Then I've got an assistant managing editor. Anything happens to me, they can step up. You don't have to go pull a board member out to run the paper. I just think that if you're gonna remove presidents, you should have qualified staff to be able to step in when that person can't do the job or that person has been removed. That way, you take a lot of this board drama out of the way. So hopefully, Morris Brown will be forthcoming to explain what has happened there. And I'm sure the legal representatives of President James are going to be weighing in as well.
Hello, I'm Isaac Hayes III, founder and CEO of Fanbase, and I'm here with a very important message. We are at a turning point in the Black community where we must have equity in the apps we use that scale to billions of dollars. But this time, we own the infrastructure, we own the culture, and we shape the future. And Fanbase is the future. Fanbase combines the free functionality of Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube into an all-in-one platform built for the evolution of social media and monetization. With over 1.4 million users, that's real proof that we are shifting the conversation of tech ownership and equity for creators. So right now, I want you to go to startengine.com/fanbase and invest today. The minimum to invest is $399. That gets you 60 shares of stock in Fanbase at $665 a share. This marks a turning point in Black ownership of social media. If we don't take this opportunity to own social media right now, we will always be customers to our own creations. And that can't go on. So once again, go to startengine.com/fanbase and invest today. We must own the platforms where our voices live, our stories matter, and where our culture drives the world. Thank you.